7 of us here so far. Some of people have already declared their absences, but the rest will be joining hopefully. So welcome everyone to our second orientation OLM, and all the coordinators are here today. You know me already. I'm Ala, and for the rest of the coordinators, just quickly say hi. The loudest hi gets I don't know, an emoji. Maybe Philippa, you can go next.
What? An emoji?
Just say hi to everyone, and if you're the most enthusiastic coordinator, if you beat the girls, then you would get an emoji.
I'm very sorry, people. You see, I'm very confused from working. Yeah, hi everyone to our second orientation call, and today I'm gonna be bad corp. Wait for it. Yeah, without further ado, I give on to Sebastian.
Hi everyone, I will give you some tips about the working schedule and the upcoming days, so stay tuned. And Makshada.
Hey guys, good luck for this meeting.
Yes, Fatima?
Hi guys, welcome again to another one of our meetings, and I'm going to pass you on to Ala.
Perfect. So moving on, we are first going to take you over, okay. We're first going to take you over how you feel about the conference now that you know that we have 9 days left. Are you excited? And you should be seeing a poll on your screen in a bit. But in the meantime, if you are, you can also raise your hand, unmute yourself, and share your reflections, your excitement. Okay, I hope you can see the poll in front of you.
It's fine, Makshada. They go well together.
Okay, Ibrahim wants to answer the question that says, what is Virtway? You can unmute yourself and share.
No, what I meant was actually that I don't know if it's just me or if it's others as well. And the question that says, how familiar are you with Virtue? It's just my evil senses. They were like, you know, click, click, what is Virtue? Click, what is Virtue? So like, that is something that I was implying.
Yeah, perfect. Who else wants to share maybe their enthusiasm, their excitement? I'm trying to clean the screen. It's harder than actually annotating it. Okay, screen clear. We can move forward.
Enthusiasm is maybe wrong, but let me share one funny, weird, embarrassing annotation. I was on my own training for my presentation for a best practice session, and I switched my microphone, so I was changing it in between while the program was already running, and it would just not work. And yeah, that was while I was in the training with Nicola, who's the expert on the training, who's gonna train you all, and it was so embarrassing because I wasn't able to fix it for 5 minutes. So this is a pro tip from me: always connect your headset before you start the application, just always.
Perfect. And also a pro tip, you're going to be STF, so everyone expects you to know everything about the platform. No pressure, but yes, pressure, a lot of it. Okay, now we have the poll results out. A lot of people, 63%, are excited. Who is over this? This is so unfortunate. I'm hurt. Nervous? Yes, we all are. Yes, I guess we all are as well because 3,000 avatars are going to be on the platform on the 7th, and not a lot of people, especially educators, know how to use platforms. But the good thing is that we are the most young and hence the most skilled at the platforms. How comfortable you are with Virtway, interesting to see that we have almost 90% of people either at pro level or getting there, and more on the reflections with tutor groups in a bit. So we're gonna do a quick temperature check again. And this is mainly about reflections. So far, we've had a couple of webinars, a mentorship workshop, the Scholar Rex webinar, and you also have been having your own tutor group meetings per se. And we wanted to hear if you want to share any excitement or any reflections from your engagement in the STF so far. You can raise your hand or type in the chat, and please be proactive. This is not a webinar. This is an STF OLM where we all talk and share. Okay, I can see a lot of icons. We can start with Javier.
I was actually.
Oh, the icon is for my screen.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, but feel free to share as well any reflections. Yeah.
It's been very exciting, to be honest. I'm not a fan of the time zone precisely. But I mean, I'm very excited. I have been speaking with the rest of my group and with Kevin, and it's all just an amazing experience. And I just can't wait for this to begin.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Javier. Roshit is happy to chat.
Hey everyone, hope you can hear me. So I'm just echoing the same feelings. I'm extremely excited about AMEE starting and actually having the opportunity to talk to you more and meeting you guys on the platform. I guess there's been three big reasons for excitement. One is the platform is pretty cool. Like growing up, I didn't actually play a lot of video games, but being able to play a video game with like a medical education theme feels like a nerd's dream come through. And I think a lot of you will understand that. The second reason is I've got a wonderful mentee group. So shout out to my mentees, and they're really excited about some topics in medical education. So it's been good talking about how to make those ideas come real, but also how to use AMEE as an opportunity to learn new ideas and to maybe make some networks. And the third one is I'm running a masterclass with 3 other supervisors, and they've all struggled with the platform. And so this is kind of things to come, is that we will be doing a lot of troubleshooting, I think, and many people will, it will be basic things that you'll be helping people with, I imagine. And so if you already have people at your school who are coming to AMEE, I think it's a great idea to just let them know, hey, look, I'm a student task member. I'm actually happy to help you like now, not wait for the conference, like happy to help you now to get comfortable with the platform. So just let them know. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Roshit. I think that's a very important message. A lot of people are going to have a lot of problems with the platform, but we are here for them. I think Arwa wants to go next.
Can you hear me?
You could, if you could be a bit louder, that would be perfect.
Okay. Is it better now? Is this level okay? No?
Maybe closer to your microphone.
Okay. I just have to figure out where the microphone is. Can you hear me now? Okay. I'll try and just be loud. Is this better?
Yes.
No?
Okay. We can sort of hear you, and I'll echo what you say. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to reflect on the Scholar X, the webinar that we had yesterday, was it? 2 days ago. It was just really exciting to me, the fact that, the concept for like students to students or students for students, I thought that was just something local in every school, for example, but having something that's global like this that supports students being there for students in medical education was just very exciting to me. So that's something that I really wanted to thank you guys for making us involved in. So yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Arwa, for reflecting on Scholar RX webinar. If you also found it extremely engaging, or if you had any reflections, write that out in the chat. And we were also, as coordinators, very happy to have Tao share his enthusiasm for student engagement, and also continue to sponsor and support the STF. Anyone else who wants to share reflections? Remember, this is an open floor, and whilst we do not want to put you on the spot, we do encourage proactive enthusiasm. Put them on the spot, perfect. One of the people who said I can when Mokshida was tricking you is Christina from Lithuania. Do you want to share or give any reflections of your experience so far?
Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. So we do chat a lot with our group, so the whole experience is extremely exciting and we feel well supported with regards to the preparation for the conference and just to networking just before it. So the whole experience is amazing. I can also echo the amazing webinar we had this week. So all the best experiences so far.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Christina. And anyone else who probably, like a couple of us, me included, is also feeling a bit nervous, don't worry, you can also reflect on that. Should I ask Selma? Okay, Selma, Mokshida is putting you on the spot. Can she hear us? Fake internet problems. Perfect. Maybe we'll give more time for that at the end of the OLM. Oh, perfect. You're here. Yes. Do you want to reflect on some things, Selma?
Well, this is my first time as a part of the STF. I've been twice into AMEE just as an independent participant. And although I will not hide it, I was a bit disappointed at first because of because it wouldn't be presential, and I thought all the charm might fade since we're going virtual. But with the virtual platform, I'm kind of excited about it, and I wonder how it will be when we actually meet all the people that we used to network with them last couple of years in a virtual way. It's kind of at the same time exciting and source of anxiety. But I do hope other people do share. Are not as. Do share the same. Fears and not as confident. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Selma. And I think one of the things that's going to be interesting is to actually look at the avatars of people you've met in real life and realize that they have nothing to do with each other. It's going to be harder to identify people's avatars, but we can enjoy that. We have Ibrahim who raised his hand. You can go.
Yes, thank you so much. Initially, when we got, I got to know at least that it's a virtual one and that I got selected. So I didn't really know what to expect because my expectations are most likely that it'll be over Zoom or something. And I was like, nah, man, I wish that doesn't happen. But anyway, then they announced that you guys are using Wortway platform. And when I explored the platform, I was quite excited about it until recently when it crashed for me. So now I'm a bit nervous as to, what might happen in case there's an overload or, there are a lot of people who are going into the platform because at the end of the day, we're there to facilitate, and what if it doesn't work for us. So there are a few reservations that I have at the end of the day, but I'm really looking forward to the experience, to be honest, because it's my first time being part of the AME student task force or attending AME in general. Yeah, I think there's a lot more to come, and yep.
Yes, thank you so much, Ibrahim. And I think echoing on what both Ibrahim and Selma said, it's okay if you are having challenges and you're also feeling nervous. A lot of us are. And even if you do not want to share those reflections right now, you can always reach out to us as coordinators or to your tutor group coordinators or to your STF fellows. Just talk to anyone about it. And I think one of the most interesting and one of the most valuable things of having this conference virtual is having the accessibility of all the sessions for you to watch at your luxury. And people who have been to AMEE know that it's very hard to keep up with such a huge program, and you end up going home with only seeing 1/10 of the program. But now you have the amazing opportunity to see more. Now, for respect of time, I'm actually going to go to the next slide whilst trying to clear your amazing annotations. And yes, moving on. Today's agenda would mainly talk about the orientation to the conference tasks, since we shared with you the work schedule, and I'll, of course, troubleshoot for any problems, guide you to your work during the conference and communication, discuss regulation and certification, and then also talk about the upcoming week. And of course, at the end, we have an open floor for questions or any other business. Now, over to Fatima.
So I suppose we're just checking in to make sure that you're managing well on the Virtway platform. And I think our first question would probably be, has everyone managed to create their avatars? We have now a standard STF t-shirt that we would like everybody to select in the wardrobe. So I hope nobody's had any problems with that. Also, just to update, I know that a few people have asked whether it's been possible to have long sleeve t-shirts or long sleeve versions, or to put a long sleeve under the t-shirt. We're working on that, and hopefully we will have an update soon. The next point would be, has anybody had any issues with the platform so far? You can raise your hand or you can get in touch with us privately. Anyone want to share just now? No? No one wants to share?
We have I think a problem on the chat. Mark is saying it does not support Linux. Okay, Sebastian, our tech assistant, over to you.
Regarding Linux, I don't think it may be supported in Linux because you need to.
No, it doesn't support. Sorry to jump in, but if you can run Windows, then please do so.
Yeah, only Windows and Mac devices. And with Mac devices, many problems might happen. It depends on the version of the Mac software you have. So you should report anything like this, but I'm not sure we can actually challenge the task of putting it on Linux.
Perfect. So in general, yes, everyone is facing a little bit of troubles with Mac. I think Mac and Virtway are not the best of friends. If you have the most recent of the software, you should have no problem. But if you do not, then we prefer you use Windows, which is easier and you can see your things on full screen. Now, in case you're having any other problems on Virtway, feel free to shoot us an email or message us on WhatsApp. Anywhere we're available. And a quick reminder, the changing of avatars would be locked on the 3rd of September. So if you are in an unfortunate attire or in an unfortunate hair color or something that does not look like you, you're going to remain that way for the rest of the conference. So please, please, please make sure your avatar is at its bestest of shape before the 3rd. And I was saying that you feel like you need more practice with more people. Okay, so tip on practicing on Vertway. When you play a video game, you start off best alone or with your friend, one person or two. And then the more you get the hang of it, the more you're able to play in large groups. So our recommendation is to check up with your session buddies and co-train together. And then it would be a little bit more easier to handle group like trainings, for example, with the ones that we're going to have with AMEE in the coming week. Sounds good. Okay. I cannot see any more questions in the chat, and so we'll move on to the next. And over to Sebastian.
So I think these are the QR codes to the AMEE conference program and AMEE staff work schedule. So this is our work schedule. The first recommendation and queries that you posted on WhatsApp are between the different time zones that we have in both of the programs. While AMEE decided to work in a UK time zone, we decided to stay with GMT plus minus 0 time zone because it's more practical, it's easier to calculate your shifts based on this. But remember that whenever you check, for example, for facilitators of the session, the topic, the timing of the Q&A part, but we'll also add it to our schedule. You need to remember that the times used in the official AMEE 2020 conference program is different. It's GMT plus 1, United Kingdom or British time zone. So could you move further? If you are able, please open it with your mobile phones so we can discuss it. I'll also share my screen. There were many questions asked about what does this abbreviation means. So this is the solution for most of the questions. First of all, I may open it actually, so wait a moment. Ala, could you stop sharing your screen so I can put mine? Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you see my screen? Super, amazing. So this is one of the schedules we have. It's based on our names, and the second one is based on the conference program. We've already changed times for the GMT 0 time zone, so the times are different. And it is like a transversal form of the official program. And in here we have all the tasks named and also abbreviations of your names below it. Some people would have the same abbreviations, so we a little modified them, but you can check all abbreviations listed in the second sheet. So we have 3 days of the conference, and I did a small video, rather large one, explaining you what the program is about, what are the sheets about. So I won't repeat it, but this sheet is to show you all the tasks you have around the conference and how the conference program would look like. It varies between different days because there is a different number of streams happening at the same time. Plenaries happen in different times. So whenever you see a green part, which is like a conference panel, the task distribution is near to 100%. So you need to remember that there is no staff members free at that moment. All of you will have a task scheduled. Nearer the end of the conference, there is a chance that some of you are free and you are actually having like a free spot there name. So we may go whenever you want to any stream you want to go in and enjoy. If you have some questions, sorry, I can't see it. I can't see them because I show my screen and I show you everything. And you can also check for some more answers to your questions in the video. If they were not covered, then you may ask them now. I will answer them. And the second sheet is with your names. People who have afternoon shift are marked orange, and people who work in the morning, of course in GMT time zone, are green. There will be some minor changes in the program because we've had some misunderstandings and there are also small mistakes, but most of the sessions, like 95%, will stay the same as they are. And we have different types of sessions, different types of tasks that happen at the conference. We may have plenaries and session panels. During plenaries, most of you are free because there's nothing more happening at the beginning of the conference. So at the opening and at the closing ceremony, we do not start the student desk. We want all of you to be present at the plenary. I don't know if President of AMEE plans to introduce the staff or say something warm at the end towards the staff, but we want all of you to be there. And also as coordinators, and some people who will help us recording the plenaries will be the only people who will have tasks during plenaries. During the breaks, you will have different tasks. One of them is directing participants. It means that you should be placed in a lobby and you should answer participants' queries. I think most of them will be about audio settings, but there will be also some queries regarding the entrance to the master classes, to the session, different types of session, even plenaries. So you will be here to help. And it's important that if you are assigned this task and you are a facilitator, what we'll discuss later, you have to be present at your room at least 10 minutes before the session starts. So if you have this task, you may ignore it and go to your session. If you are recording, so you have an R after your surname, you don't have to follow this rule, and you may join the session as every participant at the beginning of the session, because recording task is only about the question and answer part, which is in the end of all the sessions. So you may join freely at the beginning, enjoy your session, and we'll have the task at the end of it. During the session panels, as you can see, 100% of people from the same shift have some tasks to do. During the shifts, we introduce something like a student desk. So there is a special student desk at the lobby, and you should stay there for any participants who are, for example, late for the session, who forgot their code for the masterclass, have some other issues happening, are lost, their Mac notebook does not work or anything. You will be there to answer the questions. And during at the student desk, we don't have a different number of students assigned. At the beginning, there is more of you, then we'll reduce the number to 3 people. But this is one of the tasks. In case of the exhibition, it has been recently changed at the conference center. There are no more 2 exhibition rooms. There are rather 2 entrances, and both portals are created as doors to these rooms. So you may enter both of the halls from the same area. And the exhibition task is to stand by a special, like another student desk that is by the entrance to the room. And next to it, there will be a list of all the exhibitors in the room. So I think the main task will be to show participants that there is a list like this, and they may actually read it and be automatically transferred to the exhibitor they are interested in. And AMEE actually will introduce something like a prize for being active in the exhibition. So we assume that many people will be active there during the exhibition break that happens once a day at around 9 and then around 2 p.m. GMT. So during this, we increase the number of people in the exhibition area to 3, so 3 people in both of the rooms. And you may also actually move around, see the exhibition, but also have participants. And I would like to remind you that there is also a photo booth there. So if many participants may have trouble of finding an icon that is very small and placed below it, so it's also worth to have a person there helping participants to understand how does it work, as many of them would like to share their avatars and own pictures on social media. So throughout the day, there are several session panels, like 3 in the morning, 3 or 2 in the evening. And I think there's nothing more to cover there. We'll also have the briefings about which someone else will speak a little. So we have 3 different days with all the tasks. The fourth is sheet is an on-demand task, which is also marked as an on-demand, but it does not mean that you need to complete this task within the time we schedule for you. You may also do it earlier or in your free time, even before the conference starts. And we will list the topics like categories of e-posters and short communications that AMEE will send us to let you have a look in the topics you are interested in and actually declared in the preference form, and have a chance to watch all of them, to ask authors of these e-posters or short communications some questions, to enrich the discussion. And we would also like you to give a short summary of your experience in the on-demand content in the debriefings that will happen every day. So I think that's all. If you do not understand some abbreviations, please ask me. I will check the questions now and go back to the Zoom call. Ala, could you take over the presentation? I mean, showing the screen.
I don't know if you can hear me. I think it froze for a little. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. So we had a couple of questions on the chat box regarding whether this would be shared. Like Sebastian said, there's already a recording of the video, and we will be sharing with you a survival kit or a survival guide prior to the conference for 2-3 days. We have another question. Can you please repeat what the R after our Sunday means? It means you've been assigned a recording of a session, like people have pointed out on the chat. And yes, now going back to sharing the screen.
I think I may start to answer the questions I see from the beginning. I've just watched them. Some of you also message me on private, so I will also answer this question. The first thing, if you have any queries regarding the timeline and that some sessions start at different time than they should, please double check, because in my opinion, it's 100% correct that you do not do this mistake between the GMT and GMT+1 time zone. Remember once again that the AMEE program is in a different time zone. It's UK. I think it's a big mistake from AMEE's side to use the UK time zone, because it's not at all popular in the world and you always use GMT time zone. So remember not to use this, even not to use this program anymore, because you may become confused because of this. Our time zone, I think it's correct. So if there is, like, for example, as Azar said, BP 11.1 session, and there is like a 1 hour mistake, our one is correct, and the AMEE one is in the UK time zone, so we won't use it anymore. In case of this scenarios of participants' questions, we asked Mrs. Nicola Williams from AMEE office to prepare like the most common queries that participants might ask us about, and we'll have a training in the coming days with AMEE office, and they will try to explain the most popular and most common things that may occur during the conference. Are the instructions recorded somewhere? Yes, I've made a special video. The first one before, and it covers like how to move around. And the second one that I recorded, I think, 2 days ago, is about the task we'll have during the conference. So you may also watch it, and we record, of course, as Mokka said, the meeting today. Instructions for the work. Yeah, they also include instruction how to move around the work schedules, and we'll also do the handbook later. So regarding the abbreviations after your names, it's more practical for training, as we'll organize the special trainings with AMEE office, to have a group of people that only have a recording task and only have facilitating tasks. So it does not change at all. You should all join the sessions, but the task you have, for example, if you are a facilitator, won't change throughout the whole conference. So you don't have to be a pro in recording because you will only facilitate. We have 3 people who are experienced members who have both of the tasks, as we want them to help us to record plenaries, which are like a bigger thing. And we want someone experienced, especially during the first plenary, to help us. But most of you have only R or F. It means recording or facilitating job. In case of the recording, you need to record only the question and answer part. However, AMEE office declared that in some cases, especially masterclasses, they may ask us to record the whole masterclass, but they have not sent us like an official sheet of task in each of session. So we need to wait for it. How do we record? We need to use a different program than the Virtual one. The thing with Virtual, as you have already noticed, that it's not a stable program like a global one, but rather a small Spanish program used to organize some of the conferences. So the risk of crashing because of using a lot of data is high. So what AMEE office recommended is to use the Xbox gaming pin. You need to press Windows plus G on Windows computer, Windows 10 computers to open it. There is an option to record the game, or rather a program, as I did in my videos. And what is recorded is only what's happening in this program. So for example, if you leave Virtual because you get an email, it will record the Virtual platform. So this is the main reason for choosing it, because you won't share your screen unwillingly because of some other issues. So that's why I suggested it. On Mac notebooks, however, such a thing does not exist. So I'm not a pro in iOS, but I think there is also some tool to record or something to download, like a program to download to record it as well. But it will be like a big thing. In case of the social media, question from Andres, we chosen 3 people from afternoon and the evening shift. And as we explained in the task distribution form, you won't have any other task throughout the conference period. So for example, you are assigned to the social media thing in the morning. You start your day with a debriefing, and just after the briefing, you are free to go anywhere you want. It looks very huge that you have like social media tasks throughout the day, but it doesn't mean you need to work all the time. We just want you to be active, to stay active in the social media. AMEE office will declare if they want to give you like an official login to AMEE social media contacts as well. So for example, AMEE online or official AMEE Instagram, something like this. So throughout the day, you may go whenever you want, join any masterclass you want, session you are interested in, join exhibition, talk with some participants that you met in the lobby, and share this experience with other people. This is your main task. And furthermore, at the beginning of the conference, when we need more people in the lobby, you will also help once at directing participants, and you will also have on-demand tasks. I placed it in the exhibition time during the second day, but it does not mean you need to do it right then. You may also do it earlier, as I explained. So no worries, but we'll ask you about your experience in the debriefing after your task has passed. So if you have this task on Tuesday, remember to watch it on Tuesday or earlier, because we'll ask you during the debriefing on Tuesday afterwards. In case of the facilitation, you will have to open the presentation, first of all, you need to go to the room 10 minutes before the session starts, and then facilitator will show up. If it's masterclass, he needs to use a code, so he'll show up like 3 minutes before the session starts. He'll have like a special code, but in case of any other session, they may show up even 15 minutes before the session starts. It's still unclear whether these facilitators coming to a session will have all the maybe a speaker options, I would call this that way, on. So in the training video, there is an instruction how to actually tick the use presentation option for the speaker to let him speak at the panel as every participant, and what's more, how to open a presentation on a webcam. So you need to check if this option is on for them. If not, you need to turn this on to let them facilitate the session. And you will be responsible for moving around the presentation, changing presentation. For example, if there is a fringe session when there are 4 presentations pre-recorded, you would also have to switch between presentations. You do not have to switch slides, as these are pre-recorded presentations, like a one video slide. So you may just move from one to another after it ends. So it's easier, I think more practical, but remember not to click like to change your slide, because you will move to another presentation. And what is important, if you are on audience as a free participant or recorded, do not click these buttons also, because even if you are sitting, you are not in a panel and you have some arrows on your screen, you may also change the presentation. I'll check if something is up.
And while Sebastian is checking, I just want to reinforce the fact that we will be having 2 separate meetings this week, recorded and facilitated individually as well. So do not worry, and Nicola is going to take us through all of the possible scenarios and the baseline tasks that you need to know at STF.
Yeah, question from Navan, can I use another program? Of course, you may use any program that is stable and will work. Xbox is a suggestion. If this is one of the options, you may use whatever program you want. And remember, we'll discuss this task next week because you have to share it with AMEE afterwards. So make sure it's in the MP4 format. Okay, the next thing, if there is anything more. There will be an AMEE guide for facilitators. We do have one from AMEE office, and I will share it after the meeting.
But that guide is mainly for presenters, technically. However, as for your STF tasks, we'll be launching our own survival guide soon.
Yeah, of course. And in case of the question about the last question about the iOS, how to record, I'm not an expert, as I said, because I do not have a device like this, so I can't show you how to do it. But you may ask it on Tuesday during the training with AMEE office, or ask Mindogas because he had an idea. So we may also discuss it in our social media after the meeting. So I think this is all, and we can move further.
Perfect. So maybe before everyone can just wake up a little, in case you were losing track in the middle. So wake up, wake up, wake up. I don't want to be more noisier than this, but finally, Sebastian, just give us an overview of the debriefings. I think a lot of people had questions around what the debriefings meant. Although you did technically explain it.
Okay, so a little more talking from me, boring stuff. So we will have 3 debriefings throughout the day. I will call the morning one for both of you working in the morning and the afternoon. So the first debriefing of the day is like 30, 45 minutes before this first session you cover happens. And during this debriefing, we will check your attendance. If everyone are here, do not have any problems with the platform, everything is fine. We will discuss the task for the day, ask your questions if there are any, and prepare for the beginning of the day. Afternoon debriefing is a little different. It's only for 15 minutes, but it does not mean that it will last 15 minutes. 15 minutes is only for the people who join the platform in the afternoon. So you must go to your tasks. So we will just say a little hello and ask if there is any trouble. If someone is absent, we need to cover for someone, which should not happen. And afterwards you will leave to cover your tasks, but we will stay with the people from the morning shift to discuss the day and do the final debriefing. So the final debriefing, both in the morning and in the afternoon, is to actually ask you about your experience, positive feelings regarding the day, ask you who you met at the conference, what was the discussion about, what interesting did you see, and did you actually see the on-demand content we asked you about? Is there any crazy poster for the staff members to watch? So this is about personal experience, some suggestions from your side. It's not, it won't be like an hour as it is in the program. It may be both a little shorter or longer, depending on the questions and experience you had during the day. So this is like a summary of the day, a small goodbye from our side. And remember that regardless of the fact that you're scheduled for the morning shift or the afternoon shift, you may join all the debriefings and have some talks with us, with people from a different shift. We strongly encourage you to do so. So I think that's all. Anything to add, Ala?
No, just emphasizing the importance of debriefings. We're not meeting physically, and so it's hard to understand the exact overall like orientation of the debriefing. However, previous to the conference, everyone has been like interacting within their tutor groups. Debriefings would give you the opportunity during the conference to interact with the whole STF and share experiences, and this is one of the best things about the STF. So we want to encourage you to treat it with utmost priority. We don't want to bore you, so I will go to the next slide and mainly talk about the guide to your work during the conference and communication. I'm not going to look at people yawning, so I have minimized the screen, but I hope you're all awake. And needless to say, the AMEE is counting a lot on the STF to support participants with not only the facilitation recording, but also to support participants with any technical issues that they may encounter. Quick 4 tips to guide you during the conference or our expectations is: number 1, professionalism. We have been noticing in the previous week, 2 or 3, that people are a bit variable in their attendance of STF activities, and this is understandable in some instances. However, I would like to echo that during the conference time and even the week before, we expect everyone to be absolutely professional, accountable, and be on time. Unexplained no-shows where someone just does not turn up for their session would result in a loss of an important task, and we find that unacceptable, and we will be documenting and tracking all attendance during the conference. Sadly, if we find that people have unexplained no-shows or a person does have that, it would lead to either no certification or blacklisting. So you will unfortunately not be able to attend future STFs that will happen in physical or virtual capacity. Now, debriefings before your shift are mandatory. So if you have a session in the morning and you are assigned the morning shift on the 7th, for example, you have to show up for the morning debriefing, and it will help us to just go over the day. And like Sebastian already said, be present 10 minutes before your session if you're a session facilitator, and right in time for your session if you're a recorder. Now, second thing is, the nice thing about being virtual is that we have 3 STF members assigned to each session. 1 is a facilitator and 2 are recorders. It would be very, very terrific if you can already start a conversation with your co-buddies or your co-session friends. I don't know what to call that, but let's just say co-buddies, and get to know them, practice together on the platform, because you will be showing up on the day of the conference and handling sessions together. You will have different co-buddies for different sessions, and the idea is to help you interact with as many STF as possible. Number 3, if you're facing a problem or before the conference, definitely contact us. But during the conference, we will be launching 2 days prior communication WhatsApp groups where you will immediately troubleshoot a problem using a certain coding system. And we as coordinators and together with Nicola and her team, we will be attending and addressing those problems. Now, do not worry, this would be explained in our debriefing on the 5th and the 6th in more detail, but we just wanted to let you know that we have a troubleshooting system in place. Last but not the least, track your tasks. We will be sharing a spreadsheet with you, and whenever you attend the training, for example, next week, and attend your sessions during AMEE, record, and so on, mark your tasks green. We have access to the Birthway platform, so we can see who has been present and who has not, and from what time to what time. Now, this is not to scare you, but we do have a magical eye to the platform, and it's just to encourage you to be accountable, and you'd be certified accordingly. Needless to say, all of this requires significant initiative from your side. You can make as much benefit of the AMEE conference and the STF experience as you are willing to, and we encourage you to be proactive and do so. Over to Philippa.
Can I add just one thing?
Oh yes, of course.
Move back. The regulation about being present 10 minutes before the session starts is only for facilitators. As I already told you, if you're recording your task, it will be in the middle of the session. So you may have some different tasks like directing participants, and you may join the session on time easily. If you are facilitating a session 10 minutes before is optimal. And some of you are also assigned to plenaries, and then it's suggested to come even 20-30 minutes before they start, because this is a huge fin, and we assigned some of you there as well.
Perfect. I'm smiling at the chat conversation that has nothing to do with what I was saying. Okay, but over to Philippa.
Yes, can you give me the next slide, Anna?
Sure, and there you go.
So, as I said, I'm bad cop today, and I want to talk about regulations and certifications. So, what do you need to do in order to get certificate? Well, first of all, you have to fill the pre-evaluation form. You have time until to do so until the 6th. And also there will be a post-evaluation form. So those of you who have already filled it might have noticed that we are going to use it to evaluate and do research with it, but you can always tick this, the box that you don't want us to use it for it, but filling it in general is mandatory. So yes, just do it, please. Then the sessions we assigned you to, we need you to attend 100%. There's nothing around it because we are relying on you. If you run into any problems like a huge power cut, internet problems whatsoever, or you can anticipate that something is happening, like, I don't know, you know, close relative died, we do understand, but you do need to contact us in advance. And that does mean not like the 5 minutes before the session, because we need to organize replacement. We need your task to be filled. Like, we're not over counting people. We do need the people to be in the sessions that we have distributed to. So no, it just, that was an example. So telling us 5 minutes before a session is not enough. Ideally, you tell us as soon as you can anticipate that something will not work out as it is planned. So for those, we are not inhuman, we are fair. So if something comes up that is accountable, we can talk about still certifying you, or, you know, you can take over and swap, we will organize something. But if you fail to inform us, no matter how good the reason is, that is bad, okay? And what is their certificate? So the AMEE certificate is a certificate as every STF for appreciation, as well as those of you who have attended the ScholarX video, I do urge you to rewatch it. It's really motivating, and also it had the information that you will get a 6-month free subscription to the full ScholarX platform. And this is something you will only get when you fulfill all your tasks. So if you fail to fill them, then we will also not sign you up for this. I'm sorry to say so. And we already told you that you will be sending out real life STF t-shirts. And if you do not fulfill your tasks, you will sadly also not get this. So that's what we had to say on this. I'm truly living bad cop. Yes, thank you, Markshada. And so let me read some questions. Maybe put up your hand and also say something if you have a question. Well, you always have to contact us regarding a question if there's an unplanned power cut, who can be called to arrange a substitute. Well, ideally, if you have a power cut, still your phone works, so you try to contact someone of the coordinators team. Mark, I can't say anything on certification process taking as long as IFMSA certification, because I'm mostly working with EMSA, but usually the AMEE certificate is issued quite fast. So yes, you can tell me how long IFMSA takes and then I can account for this.
Oh my God, no. You don't want to know. I think Sebastian wanted to answer the question on 5 and 10 minutes, masterclass versus normal sessions and so on.
Oh, that one. Okay. I thought it was.
Yeah. Can I share my screen once again? Could you?
Okay.
Yeah, I need.
There you go.
Okay, so you should see the platform. Right now there are portals everywhere to every room we have. I show you stream 5 because, as you can see, there is an entrance there, but soon, in a few days, there won't be any entrance there. So participants won't be able to join the session through there. So we should discuss 2 types of entrances we'll have throughout the conference. The first one is a classic one to any other room than the masterclass. So you are a participant in the lobby. You may enter the stream, for example, 2 throughout the special portal. You may search in the list of places as well to enter the portal. The room. It's also possible. But for the masterclass, so it means that regardless of you being a staff, a member, participants, facilitator, you enter this way. This is a normal thing. So you should be there 10 minutes before the session start, as facilitators may join whenever they want, as audience may join whenever they want. As a facilitator, as a recording, you may join as every participant at the beginning of the session. But in case of the master classes, it has been a little changed because you need to pro-register for them. So they are all sold out. They are all full, and there is no way for the participants who has not been registered to join the master class anymore. So for this, in the student task force room, there are 3 different portals. There won't be portals like this in the lobby. They are only placed there. Using these portals, you may join the masterclass whenever you want, even 30 minutes before they begin. But facilitators, I mean authors from AMEE side, won't have portals like this. They will use the same as participants' codes. So there will be emailed codes to enter the sessions. at the beginning, Amy told us that these codes, when you enter, won't work until the session begins. So even 15 seconds before the session that begins, like at 10 a.m. GMT, they won't be able to enter. But yesterday, Nicola messaged us that actually they changed it for 5 minutes before the session. So for you, you should be like 10 minutes before, because as soon as the facilitators will join, you should be there to tell them what's going on and how it works. They will use the code 5 minutes before the session begins to enter, and the same will participants do. And this is also an important thing for all of you who will be in a lobby, because many participants may get the email with a code to spam, they may delete it, they may forget about it, and they will ask, I can't join, I can't find, because the stream 3, 4, and 5 won't be listed. They won't have an entrance as any other room, so we need this code. And this is why Amy will provide us with list of the participants for most of the master classes with the codes to enter. And you will be, you need to check them if they are eligible to enter, and you may actually enter this code for them to let them in. So this is a complicated system we'll have in the master classes, but it is to reduce the number of unregistered people inside. Another thing is that, for example, if you're on a stream 3 and there are 4 master classes in a row, and you are a very smart guy and you want to sit in the corner in the audience and have 4 master classes instead of 1, it's possible, because no one will kick you out from there. So you should also check if someone is not there after the masterclass finish. You need to say that they should go. And for the staff members, for example, who have some task in the evening and you want to join the masterclass in the morning, you of course are not registered. You are eligible to join throughout these portals, as we have like 10, 15 places for the staff members in each of the masterclass. So I think it was an answer. Anything more, girls? I didn't read it again.
No, I think you were very thorough. And again, I just want to remind everyone that this is something you will see again be explained on the 1st and the 2nd of September. However, okay, can you repeat about the smart guy?
About the smart guy, okay. So more practical. For example, there is a stream 3 and it's open 24/7, and there are some masterclasses happening in this stream. This is not like there is a stream created for the masterclass, as a special masterclass, and that will close right after the masterclass finishes. It's only one room that will have different masterclasses in there throughout the day. So for example, if you enter a masterclass at 8 a.m. with a code you were given, the code will change at 10 a.m. But if you are inside of this room, no one will kick you out from there because the masterclass has ended. You need to leave and then use the code once again to go back. But if you are not registered, you do not have this code. So you may stay there at the background, pretending that you joined like 15 minutes before. And this is like a smart option for people who will try to cheat to stay for the next masterclass. So you need to just make sure that they leave the room as soon as the masterclass ends, or there will be more participants than scheduled, and there will be some problems with breaking them up to groups. So that's the thing.
Perfect. So Piotr asked if we have any tools to kick people out. No, I don't think we have a kick emoji, but definitely announce that everyone. We can?
We can, but we won't use it. Because if you don't kick from a stream, you kick from the platform. So don't you ever try to use it.
Oh, yes. So you can't kick people out of the session room, like Sebastian said, and general rule that we're going to discuss in the future trainings is that whenever a session finishes, you need to alert participants to leave back to the lobby. Otherwise, you can imagine a 50-year-old educator who cannot move across the platform and just remains in one session the whole day. Now,
I think a good summary to understand what the AMEE staff role is about is that the options we have to direct participants to use like audio settings of participants are the same as for the AMEE office and the same as for the virtual platform. They do use some extras in BIOS or something like this, but we have the same permissions. So if you click allow fly, what you should not do, it works the same as for the virtual platform, and they are the only one allowed to do so. If you kick someone, reject user, turn off their microphone, it's the same thing as for virtual platform facilitators. So remember not to use it for fun because it won't be funny later.
Ujjwal, you can try the allow fly on your body later today. Perfect. Same, how it works. Okay, in respective time, we do not want to go into so much depth about the platform because these are things that you're going to see on Tuesday and Wednesday, where we're going to have the meeting with Nicola, and then you can practice then. If that sounds satisfactory, this seems like an adventure. It is an adventure on AMEE land, and perfect. So spacebar makes you jump. To answer Mindaugas' question, we mainly announce, and if someone does not leave, you walk up to them and say, hi, do you have problems leaving the room? Please do this and this. And then if they don't, then I don't want to tell you what to do. Okay, so the practice sessions, perfect. We will be sharing the timings of the meetings with Nicola right at the end of this webinar right now, like the next 2 slides. And okay, perfect. Now moving forward, I think this is now Mokshida's turn.
Yes, hi. So this is just a reminder for all of the meetings that we have next week. Sorry about that. So we have 2 trainings with AMEE on the 1st and 2nd of September at 12 p.m. GMT. These are compulsory and mandatory for you to get your certificate. So we will be taking attendance and say goodbye to your certificate if you don't come. It's important because all of the questions that you guys are asking are going to be clarified by AMEE themselves. So they will share with us their expectations, and if you have any questions, just throw it at them during these meetings. These meetings are going to be taking place in the STF room on the Wordway platform. So kind of get okay with the Wordway platform, practice before 1st and 2nd September. The next one is expert webinars. I hope you guys like the Scholar RX. Hold on, sorry guys. Yeah, so we have expert webinars for the next week as well. And I hope you guys like the Scholar RX thing. And we have one for 4th September. Please put that in your calendars. We're not going to tell you who it is, but there's something on 4th September. Then we have the meet and greet on Wordway with the coordinators. What we've decided is the next week, there will be at least one coordinator at scheduled times, and you can go and speak to them and figure out the platform with them. We will put that up on Facebook as well. So you are forced to attend at least one of these in the next week. The conference details are on 5th and 6th September, which is kind of important for us to all come together to see how we're going to be working together as a team. Of course, that is also compulsory. And it's 2 days before all of the timings will be 1 p.m. GMT, most likely, unless there is a change like the training at AMEE is at 12 p.m. GMT. Yes, we will email you guys with the schedule for all of these meetings. Any questions regarding what's coming up next week? And of course, the thing that we decided in the comments about having a practice session tomorrow, if anybody wants to join, you can join us and try to figure out the Wordway platform.
Thank you so much, Mokshita. And just to elaborate more on the meet and greets on Wordway, the idea is you will be having your own trainings, of course, but we will be available at designated times, for example, 6 p.m. GMT, and you have to show, and these meet and greets will be happening across the week, so from Monday to Friday. You don't have to come every day on the platform, unless, of course, you're enthusiastic, and we love you if you want to. but in any case, you have to at least show up to one meet and greet, because as coordinators, we need to make sure that you're in the correct STF attire, and also quickly troubleshoot all possible problems that you may be having with your headset, with your tasks and so on. Perfect. And this is definitely the last slide. We are now moving over to questions, if you have any, and mainly just how reflections. Are you guys feeling more oriented after this OLM? Are you having any challenges? Any pending questions, you can type them on the chat, but preferably you can unmute yourself and talk. And Mokshida, I don't like dogs, but I like your dog. Perfect. So yes, no questions. Oh, and I
have a question.
Oh, sure. Yes, proceed.
Not so much of a question, mostly a reflection.
Sure.
That you also said. I am kind of concerned about the fact that as the STF members, we're supposed to not only know the platform, not only move on the platform, but also be familiarized enough so that we can help others, which is kind of advanced. And I feel it's as if it's the performance, and we're supposed to do a lot of rehearsal for that. So I'm happy we're doing the meet and greet, and I'm happy we're doing the trainings next week. I just hope I could have a bit of a sneak preview about whether I will be ready by the end of the preparation week. But okay, let's just enjoy the ride. I'm just saying it's kind of demanding, and it needs work to do.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us feel the same. Click the thumbs up emoji if you agree with him. But definitely, however, just one thing to say is that the things that we are required to know as STF are basic things to support participants. But if any problem happens, or if there's something you feel is out of your league, or you're unable to assist the participant, you simply message on WhatsApp group, and we will communicate that to AMEE virtual team. And if you noticed already on the platform, they're virtual assistants. So robots that Virtway has in place, and they answer the basic questions and help as well. There will be rehearsals to test your skills, Roshit. Yes, of course, we will be rehearsing and testing you in the meet and greet, and that you will also be meeting Nicola and doing that. Now, okay, in case the platform crashes. Now, if you mean your own platform on your laptop, then just, of course, restart your laptop and get back on the platform. However, if the whole platform crashes in the middle of AMEE, then AMEE has to have a backup plan. Otherwise, we won't be having an AMEE, and I don't think that will be happening, hopefully. I think maybe one of the STF coordinators, if you want, you can also jump in and answer that question regarding platform crashing, which does happen. I mean, it happened to me once, twice already. Natasha had a question about needing our webcams. In general, I don't think it is a mandatory requirement. However, if you do have your webcam open, it's useful for those who are supporting. So if you have a facilitator role, it's also useful if you want to take a picture at the photo booth with STF or with any person who you networked with. Now, one final question is, okay, asking Amy if we're getting access to their account. 3,000 people, yes, it does increase the probability. We are all worried, we're all apprehensive, but we are all just going to see how it's going to turn out. Webcam, yes, Philippa says you will not be able to take a picture, exactly. Okay. Anyone else has like a pressing question? In the meantime, I just have a tiny thing to announce. We have 2 STF members who have been replaced, and so you might notice in the past day or so that 2 new people have introduced themselves in the group. I'm not sure if they're here today on the call, but we have Mohammed from Egypt, and we have Olu from Nigeria. If you are, please raise your hand. I'm trying to scroll down the participants list to look for you. Yes, perfect. I can see you. Do you want to say hi to the STF and so on?
Hello and welcome everyone. This is Mohammed Al-Kafafi speaking from Egypt. I'm really excited to join you in this like extraordinary event. Thank you for coordinators for your work, for effort. I would like to thank also Erin for her effort to explain everything for me, and I really appreciate your effort, and let's do something great. Greeting from Egypt.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And then Olu from Nigeria, you can go.
Hello everyone, my name is Ifeoluwa from Nigeria. I'm excited to be among you this, it's afternoon where I am, so afternoon. And I can't wait for the conference to start and to get to work with you guys. Thank you very much.
Perfect. We're so happy to have you, both of you join, and don't feel overwhelmed, please. We're all here for you, and you can already see that participants or the other STF members are very warmly welcoming you. Now, two more reminders to put in place. Number one, some of you luckily have more time and more availability during the conference, and you've already communicated your enthusiasm. We would really appreciate if you have more availability or more time to take up more tasks, to contact the STF coordinators, either me, Sebastian, Filipa, Mokshida, Fatma, or Lubna. And what we're doing is we're creating a backup list of people just in case we have unanticipated no-shows. And we would really, really, really encourage you to be proactive and get on our backup list. Another thing that I want to remind you of is we have an interesting initiative by one of our tutor groups coordinators, Matilda, on the mental health watch. And I just want to remind you to fill up the form, and I also want to give you a sneak peek that the webinar on the 4th is going to be with experts on mental health from somewhere. I'm not going to spoil the surprise anymore. So please make sure to fill the pre-assessment and also the mental health watch form. So like someone mentioned that the MCF presenters would be rehearsing. If that's so, is there a possibility for us to be a part of the rehearsal with our prospective MCF presenters? Okay, so yes, masterclass facilitators have been already doing their rehearsals across the previous month. I don't think it would be possible for you to join their rehearsal because a lot of them have already completed it, and also because of the logistical concerns around that. So, however, you can definitely like log in or access the stream 10 minutes before, and you will be assisting the masterclass by recording. And I don't think they would be much more needed from you. I missed Gladys's question. Someone texted me that. Maybe you can remind me what Gladys's question was. Yes. Okay. Oh, I found it. She said social media, we are meant to share on our personal platform. Yes. People who are assigned social media tasks are going to be sharing on AMEE platforms. However, all of the STF have an inherent social media task to share your amazing experience with all the members on your personal platforms. Reason being, you're one of the 72 people who are lucky to have the ability to enjoy this experience and experience it. And so we encourage you to share with everyone else on your social media, whether TikTok, like Mendogas suggested, or Instagram, or Facebook, or the AMEE Students page, and so on. So yes, basically just share everything like Javier said. Perfect. Now, do we have any more questions, reflections? We hope this was enlightening to you. We hope it was reassuring. We hope it was not boring to people who are yawning, wink, wink, crochet. And we hope it was inspiring a little or motivating. And we also want to remind that we have 9 days. Oh my God, 9 days. Raised hands. Okay. I'm not seeing any raised hands, but if anyone wants to share anything, feel free to do so. And that goes to coordinators as well. Sebastian?
Yeah, I just have one comment regarding the tasks of hours during the conference. I mean, the virtual tasks we have been a little frightening. For me, it sounded like this at the beginning as well, but you need to actually understand that we are not like programmers who need to respond for issues and create like a solution. We are only the people who are given like special settings to choose someone's audio, someone's speakers, someone's microphone, camera, give like other permissions. And it sounds frightening that someone will approach us that their audio is not working, but it does not mean we need to seek for a new solution. We need to check this person's settings and try to click on everything, exchange like the devices used, and that's all. And if it does not work, you need to inform us or even the nearest AMEE office representative. And that's all about it. So we do not seek for answers for unsolvable things. It's only for doing like a small help from admin side and check if all the settings are all right and everything is prepared. And that's all. So no worries.
To join in on this, thanks, Sebastian. Remember what I shared at the beginning of this meeting. If you run into any problems prior to the conference, appreciate them and share them with people. And well, in most cases, hopefully you will solve them. But if not, we can also address them together. So yeah, just don't feel overwhelmed. We will solve it. And if it's something that can't be solved by us, then it's by no means something that is down to us, but then there is someone from AMEE and the Redway platform who is responsible for that. So you will have to be able to do the basics, and by doing that, you will already be a lot of help to all participants.
Ibrahim has a question. Ibrahim, do you want to ask it?
Yes, it's like more of a concern. So the thing is that we are also not familiar with to what degree the presenters whom we would be facilitating are familiar with using the platform and with technical stuff, right? So and we also don't know their age group, right? So let's say if we are facilitating someone who's like in their late 50s or 60s and aren't really familiar much with technicalities of the platform, then I think it would be like it is the sort of concern that is in my head right now, and it's like sort of raw at this point. However, like if you can do something about it, so for example, like the idea is that in case there are any rehearsal sessions left for those MCF presenters, if like you can hook up the facilitators to rehearse with them at least once, if that's possible, then I think it would be really great.
Just can I say something?
Yes, sure.
Just something you're saying, what the presenter's learning. So Nicola or someone usually teaches the presenters how to put things on the screen and how breakout areas might work and all the kind of different functions that are available for them. And then presenters, most of them have had second or third rehearsals already. Because of this being a virtual conference, a lot of presenters have started changing their presentations. So we've all submitted new presentations to simplify the workshop that we are giving. And we've done that in my group as well, because we realized that we were being far too ambitious for a 1 hour workshop. So most of the presenters will be much more familiar, because just like us, they're also quite anxious about their workshop going well and them having the collaboration that they're looking for. So I think we're all feeling similar feelings. And yeah, I think it will work out there.
Yes, and I just want to also share the perspective that you already know the sessions you're assigned to. Feel free to stalk the session facilitators and possibly introduce yourself closer to the conference. However, as a session facilitator, the key task that you would need to support with is if a presentation fails to open, for example, or if a mic is not working, or if a technical issue is faced. And we will try to reach out to AMEE and see if they can have a way to link STF with the people who are delivering sessions, but we do not promise. And however, like Roshit said, they are also preparing, and we're anticipating that the 10 minutes prior to each session where you meet would be enough to have some sort of like discussion of how you want to do things. Finally, I also wanted to remind you that it's not just about your tasks and showing up to a session and recording it, or maybe moving a PowerPoint or so on, but it's also about interacting with these educators. AMEE brings in a very diverse, well-informed group from around the world, and they all know that you are STF, and in the physical conference, of course, it's easier to interact and network. However, in the virtual conference, it depends on how much interaction you want to have. And so we just want to encourage you to keep networking, start conversations with people, even just to say, hi, we are STF, and so on. I'm trying to see if there are any more questions on the chat. Philippa, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to give the information Roshit gave, that all the presenters will have, who are having live content, have their trainings. So thanks for taking care of that answer, Roshit. So yes, there will be no presenter who hasn't ever been on the platform for all of that. Of course, posted people and so on, but they already sent in all their presentations, so they won't be like, it won't be down to them knowing the platform.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely, as Philippa said, in masterclasses they organize trainings because presenters, facilitators, they need to be more active. In case of the normal session, all the presentations were pre-recorded. So for example, if you come there, the facilitator may only like say hello, and then you will play the presentation and nothing will happen during this time. And only during the question and answer part at the end, they will actually speak. So they don't need to know the platform at all to do what they should. They need to be present on the podium, and this will allow them to speak as soon as you give them like a presentation on option. And that's all from their side. So they won't be trained, and they will probably not know the platform at even like 10% as you will do. So this won't be a problem. As they are not speaking in masterclasses, it may be more problematic, but no worries, you will handle it.
Yes, and just to reinforce one final message, as STF, you're not the pros of the platform. There's a team right behind us of Virtuate team, and Nicola has her full team who are the actual technical aid. But our main task is to solve the problem if it's tiny, and we know, but communicate the problem if it's more than our level, so that they can address it. And I hope that gives you a little bit of reassurance. If not, then I guess this brings us to the end of the call. And sorry for having a 90 minutes of an OLM. We had anticipated less, but we're also very happy that we are at least able to answer all your questions and so on. We would be available if you have any after this meeting. And yes, Ujjwal, we're also very excited. Type down in the chat if you are. Use the clap react that shows next to participants list if you are as well. And Roshit, good night. Perfect. So I guess we can say bye if nobody else wants to say anything. You can unmute and say bye. Bye bye.
Guys. Thank you. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.